Can you hear me online? Yeah?
Yeah.
Music was coming through.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to start with the hymn. Valerie can do Silent Night, or is she occupied? She's occupied. Okay. So we will start with see what we got here. Let's start with the meditation. So begin by coming into the space around you internally. So we stop contemplating events of the future. Just for a moment, stop thinking about other things outside of our present experience. Letting go of the past. And just sensing what's in the room. Bringing a closer awareness to our own body. Our temporary vehicle for experiencing this life. Do we have affection for it in this moment? Bring your love and awareness to the body and relax any tension you find. And allowing this closeness of awareness to the body to bring us deeper into the present moment. Intuit into yourself. Do I have a good heart? can I relax into my own being and be comfortable? The essence of Christmas is recognizing that we receive gifts from a deeper force that enters us through our chimney of the central channel, in alignment with our goodness. Or if we've squandered our energies in anger, lust, pride, discontentment, dissatisfaction, grasping at more. But Christmas, the rite of the Christ consciousness, is to recognize that beyond them, in a field beyond good and bad, is where the Christ is. And to celebrate that. Christ is love. Christ is silence. Christ is one. Intuit what it means to be good, to be silent, to be loving. So that you can commune with family, in the rite of this consciousness, Christmas, the rite of Christ, in which we set aside the past and celebrate the divine light in each of us. Let go of all those old voices. It's not the time. Now is the time of the Christ. Beauty, contentment, sharing, rejoicing, humility, honesty, grace, sincerity, passion, joy, devotion, commitment, honor, integrity, qualities of the being. Allowing these flavors of expression to surround you like a perfume. Sit in silence, knowing it's the Christ. Maintaining your awareness of consciousness. Sense your vehicle. Feel sensations again. Hear sounds. Start to hear the different voices in your head. Maintain the light of consciousness. As the king or the queen of all you survey. Open your eyes. If you need to have a little stretch. So, peace be upon you. Peace is within you. Hopefully you can recognize. Look like you're in the essays. So, don't particularly like to manage expectations, but didn't have the time to kind of organize the classes I'd like to, so see what happens. I think most people are kind of cognizant of the Christmas being slowly eaten by the corporations. Yeah. So first of all, that I'm aware of, like Santa Claus became a symbol of Coca-Cola, and then it's just about greed, buying our stuff, supporting the corporation, using Satan's tremendous, right? So use your desire for love and family and attachment to use that to kind of just get you to buy products. And then Christmas just becomes a burden on the soul, using the excuse of Christ to diminish you, put you down and crush your family life in the name of celebrating it. Right? Yeah, everyone's on board. Mm-hmm. And then it just becomes a time of darkness, unintelligence, greed, mainly greed and despair. I think that's the kind of what the feeling that comes of Christmas now. Making you really poor, and then getting you to extend your credit beyond your means in order to appease advertised desires for children. Like advertising to children is one of the most greatest evils that's ever happened to humanity. And then using that greed of children, unrestrained, to enslave you into debt. Off to a good start. It's the current situation, and then it's a sense of guilt. This is the power of Satan uses our natural love, our natural sense of loyalty and wish for community to transmute it into guilt for not following this way, because you know that Christmas is good deep down, and that it's good to help and support, but you can't. It's like thwarted into, so all those good tendencies and intuitions are turned into materialism, which never gives you what you desire, and it just makes you feel guilty. People commit suicide. I mean, it's inconceivable that the celebration of Christ consciousness is the reason now people commit suicide. So if you want to know what Satan is, that's Satan. As we go into the start our Christmas celebration, we understand Satan doesn't have a body or form, right? He's an angel. And so, maybe as a segue to understanding what God is, has anyone ever seen you? I mean, does anyone, when they think something, and I think, identify with it? Yeah. Right. Okay. What am I thinking? No idea? No idea. When you're doing Mahamudra, Dzogchen, can you get any sense that you're not your thoughts? Yeah, right. Has anyone ever seen that? No. Can you see it even within yourself? No. Would you consider that to be you? Or would you consider, say, your thoughts are you? Or would you consider the witness of the thoughts to be you? Definitely closer. It's you. That's the one that is can control everything, right? We can maybe say our sense of person, when you can get right to the root of it. Maybe me thinking I'm not actually getting to Mahamudra itself, but I'm getting to the root of the person, the mind, the one that sees things, right? You can't see it. Has anyone else seen it? No. You don't even know what I'm thinking, right? Can't see someone else's thoughts. You know me. You see me. Just like having fun. It's like we're so visual, right? We always do the word see to energetically we harmonizing. Like it's like love. You intuit and know that person knows that you're knowing. It's a profound feeling, right? You know that person knows you're knowing. But no one's ever seen you. And that organizing phenomenon that moves the physical body, that decides what to think, when to think, how to organize mathematics, right? Your thoughts are not the one doing mathematics. It's you using your thoughts, right? What do you think Satan is?
Where? What? Jesus?
Yeah, where? Think you can see him?
No.
It's unlikely, right? You can't see yourself and you can't see someone else. It's unlikely you're going to see Satan. So when you're if you're a little kiddie, then Satan's got horns and, we associate him, we draw him and associate him as a human form, but really animal. Because he draws out the animal self. Right? But he's like an organizing a consciousness that organizes and can manipulate phenomena at a very powerful level. Like an intelligence, an angel. And that's his work. Maybe you want to know. That's his work. That's his signs. And his job, his quest is to prove God wrong and kind of show that these human beings are toads. They're animals. And that he's born of fire. And he should not bow down to these toads. Just go and look at them. Now, do you think you can see God? Right? So, God we symbolize as light. So God is that centralizing intelligence that manifests and controls the universe. We'll call him like a sun. He's beyond the central axis of the universe. That's like his first manifestation is light, which is just his intelligence manifesting as existence. Yeah. And it kind of has unbelievable different dimensions of levels of intelligence that come down. And all the galaxies are moving in relation to all other galaxies through this intelligence, which of course has no form. That's why it's Muhammad. It's like, don't make him a form. It's almost like animal realm. That's like what he's going up against. There's nothing wrong with making forms in other cultures. That's what he's doing, his task. Everyone's making forms of God around the Kaaba, so he just destroys them all. Because it's like coming in on one level, depends on your consciousness, it's very profound to understand that centralizing intelligence that's manifesting the galaxies and sustaining them can exist here as a little statue. You can do it, but you'll start relating to that as the God, and you'll miss. Yeah, and within galaxies, there's a central sun. Within our galaxy, it's called like the polar sun, and all the other galaxies move around this central intelligence. Everything is moving, yeah, dancing in, they say, a form of love. Yeah, governed by this intelligence. They've all got laws moving through this intelligence. Yeah. If we start going into our own body, it's all in our own body. Like all these like atoms moving and stuff. We're not connected. We're locked into this. The thoughts and the energies that are up here. Right? And it's a good thing. Imagine that you're in control of your heartbeat. Yeah. Or you're digesting. It's like zombies. Like, it's a good thing. It's like, don't worry. But these things are existing, right? Or we can look and investigate and to understand all the laws that are going on in your stomach, the intelligences that are moving it. And I think within our galaxy, which is moving around other galaxies, around this central intelligence, And that's the polar sun, and then we're in the Pleiades system. Or our galaxies move around Sirius, right? We've got a real connection with the sun. But it's like, it's not just a physical object. Is this you? Is your physical body you? Like I'm saying, we just agreed that it's not you, your physical body's not you. So the physical sun, it's not that sun. It's got intelligence. That's how intelligence is like. We are manifestations of light. You understand, right? So that light is an intelligence. And Sirius is when we've got so much strong connection with Sirius, because it's the intelligence that's moving through. I don't know if it's like our galaxy, and then that's our galaxy, right? Sirius. And then we're in a constellation with Pleiades, and our sun is in relation to the sun of Pleiades. So it's like this intelligence just moves into different levels of cosmic dances that are moving down into our sun, and we're moving round that. So Muhammad is the closest to seeing that central sun. It's beyond concept, that intelligence. And so everything he's doing is in relation to the sun. That's not the sun. We see the physical sun, but it's also an intelligence that's governing all life. And if we just look at science, some of the scientists have to be the cleverest and the stupidest people in the world. But a lot of them start to wake up because they understand the intelligence of the light and what it's doing with all the plants, and their mind blows. To think that there's no intelligence there, you have to be so unintelligent. Yeah. It's like a baby looking at him, it just doesn't know what it's seeing. So dumb. Yeah. No, there's no intelligence. So dumb. So you need intelligence to say that. They're so dumb. This can really happen, right? This incredible inability to see what you're seeing. Just too close. It's almost like God's finger presses on your head. There's no. So that sun is that light, that central sun. That light is called Christ. Another name for it that they use in Islam is Allah. You've got to call it something. That intelligence is moving through everything. Yeah, governing things. Its gift to us is that we can awaken and know it. And we can become co-creators with it. That's part of what it creates in its intelligence, is that if you're worthy, you can co-create with me my intelligence and become like you're already one with it, but not consciously. Yeah, it's just using you. That's why they say God will awaken who he awakens, because everything's functioning for this intelligence. And if you were given power without knowing it, you just create chaos, which happens to kind of a lot of people, and they kind of touch on that. That's the Christ. Yeah, or Allah, but I say Christ consciousness. And the Christ manifests as, very fortunate that the Christ manifests as Venerable Geshe. Christ consciousness. But the Christ consciousness manifests as Jesus, Yeshua. Yeah. So that light that's governing things, scientists will be able to correct me, I'm not a scientist. A lot of it's just downloaded by the light. It hits the North Pole. Yeah, and so the North Pole is like, I think, a conduit for the light. And there's also the axis of the North and South. And so the light dies on, we can say, for terms of Christmas, 25th of December. Or the 21st is like that's the traditional solstice. It's the dying of, the light is dead and it's about to be born. This intelligence, this Christ consciousness is born on Christmas Day. the rite of Christ, which is the turning of the light. And then I think there's a point, we won't get into Easter, but Easter's the cross of the light turning north and south and across the Easter. So it's like the cross, the resurrection of that light into full intelligence, is stuff like that. We won't go into the Easter, but that light is manifest down now on Christmas, and it's about to turn. We can channel that light from the top, let's say from the north. That energy going through the earth in the north, that energy coming in. And there's an influence called Santa Claus. Santa Claus, you can't see Santa Claus. You can bastardize the whole situation, but it's the divine energy coming from the north and then manifesting down. And it's got certain colours to it, right? Understand? And then, if you understand, if you're good, so you can connect with that energy and get the gifts of the light and the intelligence of the light into your life for the rest of the year. And if you're bad, you ain't feeling it. But the north is like symbolic of where the intelligence is. Off to Asgard we roam. Yeah, but it's like the north. It's not the north. It's like people going, oh, the west. And it's like, these are energies usually related. So we're in our central axis when we're in this. So the Christ is the cross, right? And the center of that, we observe and control all the elements. Right? So one of the meanings of Christ, the Christ consciousness, is that it controls all the elements of our life. It's the central axis in which we can channel this light. And so when we have a Christmas tree, the Christmas tree is your central channel. The fairy is at the north, and it's your top chakra, in which you bring the light in, and we can have the chakras, and that's all the decorations, but it's the tree of life. The tree of life is just a tree. It always symbolises that light. I mean, trees are unbelievable things. You don't know what a tree is. I don't know what trees are. No, a wild phenomenon, right? Yeah, it's like Don Juan and all that. You said the old sorcerers used to really tune into tree, and it's like a really weird consciousness, where you could turn into trees and things. But yeah, it's like sometimes not a good idea to tune too much into a tree consciousness. Yeah, but really, this is like mushroom consciousness. Yeah, right. So, the Christmas tree symbolises the tree of life. The tree of life is the chakras and channeling that energy. And we have the star of Bethlehem. Yeah, it's not. They try and find it in astrology. Although I do have to say, like all these things, like we're talking about, it's also true. Everything you think about Jesus is also true. It's not negating any of it. Because that intelligence can manifest as the story of the baby Jesus, the story of good and bad, the story of a man coming down the chimney, and all these things can exist all at the same moment for it. It's beyond, that intelligence is beyond our comprehension of what information is. You think like the internet's nothing. Yeah, you think about information, isn't it? Yeah, the internet's just a machine we just made up, influenced by Satan. Yeah, it's nothing. You think how much information God can is manifesting in a light. Yeah, we've got no idea what He can do. Yeah, we're just really chuffed that from this air we managed to create the element of fire out of it. That's also the symbol for Christ, is that it's fire. Christ means fire, but it means tumult in the fire. It's what we're going to want to give birth to. But we're really chuffed we can do that, right? Now we move into nuclear stuff and we've got no idea what is maintained in this light, this intelligence. That's just the material side, isn't it? So I think that's the material side. And what about my being? Because your being is part of that light. So the star has no direction to it. It just depends on your consciousness whether you see the star. So the three magicians, they come and they can see the star, and it guides them to the Christ consciousness. So if you can see your highest self, your crown chakra, it will guide you to the Christ consciousness. But the three kings, it was like, what country were they king of? That's what we're like, aren't they? Because people think they're different from those times. And when in those times Jesus says, I'm king, it's like, who's he king of? What kingdom? We're king. And you go, the three kings, king of what country? And they're still trying to find out what country they're kings of. Same mind. Okay? The three kings are, well, in Kabbalah, it's the crown, the highest, the crown chakra. So just the three masters. They come, it's one of the symbols. The three masters come and they speak to the ego. Who's the king? The acknowledged king, Herod, who owns the egos, or the other egos. And they hear of the Christ and they don't like it. They said, none of them like it. When these three kings come, the whole city or the kingdom is in unease. Yeah, Matthew says. So they know that it's the death of Herod, of the kingdom, the worldly kingdom. They know it's the death of the worldly, but it's your ego. And so you have to hide your spiritual path. That's one of the meanings of like going to Egypt. Egypt's the mystical land, and you hide there. You hide, and you like. There's a sense to like it's just like looking for it to destroy it. Yeah. So the energies come, and the killer within you that wants to destroy your own glory. It's symbolized by this thing, and you have to hide it. And God has to hide this gift within us. And where does he hide it? There's a famous story, it's like God's like, these human beings keep asking me questions, looking for me. I want to hide, I want a break. And they're like, well, go to the top of the Himalayas and they'll find me there eventually. It's like, go to the moon, they'll go there eventually. It's like, where can I go? And then the wise one says, go inside their heart. They'll never look inside their hearts. God's like, that's where I'll hide. Yep. So it's like part of that symbolism is that you have to hide the Christ in amongst the animals, in the animal kingdom. This is where he hides, in a manger, and he's born there. Yeah, but Herod's after him, so you have to protect. Yeah, so we know it's symbolizing when you're on the spiritual journey, you keep your mouth shut in this, because people will want to kill it, but also your own self will want to destroy it. Yeah, you have to be aware of that. So one of the things that destroys it is pride and greed. I want to attain enlightenment now. Yes. It's like widely now advertised. Enlightenment in a weekend. I don't know, many people think, oh yeah, enlightenment in a weekend. Special satsang enlightenment in a weekend courses. Well, they're all over the place. The greed of the modern man is profound. I'm going to grab God. I want that. It's literally the process. I want God. I want to grab. I don't want to. What do you mean? What do you mean? Be like those little primitive Eastern people? No. I want it now. Oh, you have to be like this. Surrender is you're so letting go that you deserve it in any way, and all you do is serve to be a receptacle for that to happen, so there's no ego, grasping greed involved that can pollute it. So of course when you're on the path, that ego's there. It's not like we just do everything we can not to be motivated by that greed that I tell that central universal sun when I'm due to wake up. So waking up, what the Christ means, giving birth, this is the celebration, because this happened. This happened to Jesus. What has been born? This being is now consciously tuned in to the central intelligence moving through this world, like bringing plants to life, birds, organizing how in the digestion of birds and worms and their relationship, and the relationship to trees and all this is like managing, is in alignment with that consciously. And is now working for the sun, for the light, with no ego, no animal self there. Yeah, no unconscious. When I know we're unconscious, that God is guiding us, so he said God's always with you, right? He's always like guiding, you just don't, not aware. He's guiding us in spite of that voice. Doesn't do anything. That's why philosophy doesn't do anything. He's just going, you're hungry now, eat. Just like eat, move there. All right, he seemed to get some kind of self-will, right? Let's put him in an accident. That'll move them over there. It's like, yeah. Jesus is conscious of that energy. And it's helping. Because all it does is help. And all it wants, part of its play, is for you to awaken to it. That's all it wants. But you can't just be awakened until you're ready to receive it. And so these messengers come down. This is how you awaken to it. Like Muhammad just shows the perfect example of what it means to be in tune with that intelligence. What it's like is loving and kind and patient and gentle. Muhammad was so gentle. Yeah. Another name for gentle is meek. So we can call, let's say, that meek and gentle almost synonyms for Muhammad. And so Muhammad shall inherit the earth. Right? And we understand that he's a king, a warrior. If you went to a 10-year-old and go, what does the word smash mean? It'll be very different in their mind to what the word smash means to a 90-year-old who died 10 years ago, before it became before it became a word for brilliant or achieving something good. Yeah, like words change, what they mean when you hear it in the word. For us, like meek, and remember Satan's had his hand at Christianity for a long time, right? Meek means something crap. It doesn't matter. I don't care what anyone says. No one thinks meek. I think, oh, brilliant, I'll be meek. But meek means Muhammad. That's what it means. And if you think he's someone you could walk over, then try and walk over my sheikh. Gentle. Gentle like a mountain is gentle. When does a mountain ever attack you? They're gentle. They gentle giants. You can't move it though. So, and you can get to what it means to inherit the earth and inherit your body, right? Embody the earth, which is the vehicle for the central sun. And only the meek can do it, the gentle, the humble, as in there's no ambition in the consciousness to attain God. It's sacrilege. I want you to just get that intelligence that is moving all life and thinking you're on a par with it, that you, I get you. It's not the spiritual path, it's to annihilate the ego, right? That little Herod inside you that's just greedy, ambitious, steps over other people, is not in tune with that central intelligence, which is pure love. Right? And so when it gets out of the way, then that light, the Christ consciousness, can play. You can, in a way, you can co-create with it. You're given that gift. You say, like, the human being is the reason for the universe, and the reason for human beings is Muhammad. It's that symbol of complete let go into that. Or Jesus Christ. So I'd like to say that Jesus Christ is the second coming. Or you can say that intelligence on the earth, the Christ consciousness, has a second arising. Different ways to read prophecies. And so the kings see the star which has no, it's not east, west, north or south, right? Where is you're in your mandala here. There's no east, west, north and south. That's what it means. It means it's centerless. So the Star of Bethlehem is the centerless place. That's where we're directed to by the crown consciousness to find the Christ. That's what the Star of Bethlehem means. In Bethlehem, one of the understandings of Bethlehem is, I think it's bread of wisdom is the name. It's also the crown chakra. So it's born within the crown chakra, you could say the Christ consciousness. But so the energy goes down from the crown right down to the earth, into the kingdom. So, but within the city, on a kind of different level on another symbolic level, they have to go within the city, which is where all the hustle and bustle is, and then no one's interested, right? And the crown is, I ain't got time for you, mate. I ain't got time for the king and the queen to come into my house. Joseph and Mary are the Heruka and Vajrayogini, the king and the queen, which through their union, the Christ will be born. And it won't be born, so Mary's a virgin. Yeah? So that symbolizes, and that she's got a partner. This is a miracle. It symbolizes that you don't lose your semen, a tantric vow, right? It's part of the tantric vow. So she remains virgin while she engages in tantric sex with Joseph, and that transformation of energy, the tumo, the fire, the Christ, is born, which takes you to the light. You ain't getting in. Yeah, go on, off you go. See you later. The palaces of the ego, nah, not interested. So down and amongst the ego, the city, in the depths of the ego, you can say, there's a little barnyard, and there's just like this one little voice, still like the 3% we have conscious awareness, says, right, you can go in there. But it's in amongst the animals, in amongst the lowest. Ibn Arabi talks about this, the lowest of the consciousness goes to the lowest of the low. That's where God goes, and then before he goes to the highest of the high. So it's symbolizing. Christ consciousness is in the lowest. It's so profound. Which symbolizes Buddha's highest teaching. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Yeah? The inseparability of the two. Right? The consciousness is in the form. It's in the mud. It's not separate from the mud. It's not, you don't denigrate the mud. We worship the manger. It's so profound. Right? It's like, ooh. For those that with eyes to see, they understand that the manger is higher than the palaces of the ego. The natural way. The city is the mind, and in amongst that mind there's still this natural element. Yeah, like the animals and stuff. And in that nature, we celebrate the nature and the Christ consciousness. Is born. And those who are shepherds, I think is it Spanish? Pastor. Spanish for shepherd. Yeah. Teacher. Bodhisattvas. Can see the light. Whoa! They're like, whoa! Something happened. So those who are guides, so if you want to see the light, you have to be a guide. A bodhisattva. Now, bodhisattva doesn't mean you have to, like, yak. It means that you're on the path of connecting to that intelligence. You can't see it yourself. You have done, but you can't. You know what I mean? The bodhisattva is like half and half. I mean, the levels of bodhisattva where you understand it, but you're still not totally absorbed into it. You know, there's like different levels. Sufism marks that out as well. You're absorbed, but you come back. You're absorbed, but you come back. And then when you're on that level of guiding, so you can guide your family. Your job as a psychiatrist. And you don't have to speak the words written down in a certain book by a certain mystic to guide them. You can use the words in your work to guide. You can use your work to guide. And the bodhisattva guides through love and example. Not that you're setting an example like that. That's just a way of looking from the outside. That your way of not setting an example, like an ego doing it, but your way of being and expressing and serving your understanding of the path helps guide. Those ones will see the Christ. They'll see the star. They'll start to see where the guidance comes from. And it's like some of the show, have you seen it? Have you seen it? It's like, what's he saying? What's he saying? So some of them will doubt it, right? I've seen it. I go, have they? I know many people, I've been with them and say, I've met a Buddha. It's like, join in. It's like, have you? You know, you have some doubts. Yeah. You got a question there?
Yeah.
Let's not shout. Secrets.
Is it a feeling that sense of, is it like a transmission?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's an intuition, it's not inspiration, it's knowledge, internal knowledge. It's, how do you know when you fall in love?
It's just a feeling.
Is that knowledge?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how can you know your partner if you don't love them? Impossible. You know Shivali in ways no one else can know her. Because you love her, right?
Yeah.
And she'll know you in ways that no one else can know you. That's like intimacy. That's the love.
Yeah. Like, just in the last few weeks, I've just been questioning what is it about. Like, people come to work and they're like really miserable and hate their lives, and I feel like I have such a gratitude and zest for life, People feel that when I meet them, and I wonder what it like. Try and like understand what that is exactly, and I thought just feels like a sense of inspiration and like fun and joy in what I do and how I live, and I feel like it's from meeting you, and I don't know if it's like sitting in classes and experiencing that, maybe the way you speak or the transmission, and imbibing it. Is it that?
Hope so.
It feels like
Yeah,
it
I
is.
mean, that's the job. It's like you just get out of the way and allow light to come in. Not everybody gets the light. I'm not saying to Rahim. I mean, you shouldn't really speak personally. There are certain things a teacher is allowed to do, which you can't do. Yeah. And they are allowed, for example, they are allowed, if we go outside, we went into Edinburgh, they are allowed to, in front of you, give food to a beggar, to demonstrate kindness. They're allowed to do it. Normally, if you're with a group of people, you want to do it so no one sees you. No one knows you're being kind, and no one knows you're doing it. And you shouldn't talk about yourself personally. And you should just reveal your faults. But teachers they've got a certain leeway in which they're allowed to express things, and then it's within them not to kind of get an ego about it.
So it's kind of like transmission of giving, but without any showing how to give, without any attachment to what you've given, like how to purely give. And if you don't show that, then you can't learn it.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. So it's
no
very
example.
difficult to be a teacher. You don't want to be one. But I mean, thousands of people met Venerable Geshe. Yeah. Some of them like, take him or leave it. Oh, take him or leave it. People thought it was boring. That's their karma. The spiritual guide does not exist from their own side. It depends on the perception of the disciple. Right? I'm just fortunate enough, somehow, that when I met Venerable Geshe, he gave me a transmission of unconditional love. But still just like unfolding. And then I just honoured that. It's not like when I go and see Venerable Geshe and his teaching, it's like, oh, it's just every now and again. Usually when he wasn't teaching, like he just like, it's like one time you come up the pathway in Manjushri Center, and the distance to the door might be from that wall to the gate over there. And it's there, and it's just like, ugh! And there's just a crowd of people just around. You can go out, but they just... But then sometimes just, just listen to the teacher. But I'd never just like listen, just go, consciousness, consciousness, conscious. It was, whenever he spoke, it was just an hour and a half meditation, just... I used to write down at the start. Write it down, because you're told it's good to write the Dharma, and after that I don't want to write it down. I just sit there and just feel his consciousness is moving on into my consciousness. Like that. But there were times, and then when I go off, because the Nkiti is horrendous for me. Such a sick tradition. Oh man. So, it just doesn't fit. It's a really weird thing for me. Just the way it is. I've been in the mandala of Geshe with people wearing Dzogchen robes and everyone else is wearing yellow. I was like looking at me. Black sheep. But I hadn't seen him for, I don't know, maybe a couple of years. Maybe a couple of years. And then, because I didn't have any money. And my brother said, someone's paying for you to go to New York to see him. I was like, what? He went, yeah. Who? I don't know. It's this guy. Someone my brother spoke to at the festival. He said, I'm going to pay for your brother to go. I mean, if you don't understand, that's Geshe just like helping. It's just ridiculous. And then when I came to New York, we lived in a big hotel, massive hotel, like a ski jump on it in the hotel. It's just like an unbelievably big hotel. I remember the restaurant. I mean, I know I'm exaggerating because I can't get it right, but it felt like a football field. The restaurant, the tables though, the tables are about the size of this, like just pints of coffee. But I remember going into the hotel and then just sleeping in a dorm. So the dorm's pretty much the size, and just everyone's like laid out in beds. They just hired the hotel for the empowerment. And I remember just going into the dorm and going, I love everyone. I love everyone in the world. It's unconditional love. Just barely take it. It's like, whoa. And then going into the nightclub for the empowerment, just so at the back, as the black sheep does. And I remember Venerable Geshe coming out, just like lightning, just. Other people thought it was a dodgy old man. Other people there thought it was boring. Oh yeah, whatever, heard it. That's transmission. So, not all the time. At the time it's just like normal kind of meditation, just listening to him talk. And things like that. And then in the Dharma, you have to make it your own. It's the same with martial arts, you can't just copy. You have to know what the meaning is and make it your own. Yeah, you have to. It's like reggae. There's no copyright in reggae. It's just like, yeah, you can take any song, but you have to put your own twist on it. I'm sure copyrights come into reggae, but back in the birth, it's just, here's my version of what's happened through me. Now, you can take that, but you must be your own. And then we understand that a cover version is never the same as the original thing. It's like that. Does that make sense? And then most of the time you just sit there going, I'm not worthy, you just not even worthy to exist on the same planet as, you know what I mean? It's just, that's just my view. So that's born, Venerable Geshe, born. And those that have the consciousness awakening, the bodhisattvas, they can start to see it. And that's like Swaha said, or like Osho said, so when you come to the Sangha, there's angels. He's going, there's angels, and then there's dogs and rats. He's like, oh, he's gone, that was a bit harsh, it's only some of you. It's not like a few, but it's like, there's a scale of rats and dogs and crocodiles and, angels and dolphins, friendly monkeys. And he's going, what can I say? An angel's an angel. A dog's a dog. It's like, there's no judgment. He says they usually leave after a while. Those that are just wanting to cause trouble, wanting to get something, because there's nothing to get. So there's a whole scope. Where am I? The bodhisattvas, the shepherds. They're called shepherds, and the beautiful symbol again, like the lamb is surrendered and just trusts completely the shepherd, or they'll get lost. Yeah, like a lamb on its own, like Satan. So it's the Sangha, right? It's a symbol for the Sangha. And the shepherd can see the light. And then we get into the manger. And then we understand like the three kings are the central channel, the side channel, and the side channel. And the incense is like transmutation of the air energies that we achieve when we're breathing in. And they go into the central channel, and then that's the offering of gold, which is the complete transformation of the lower animal element into the pure energy, which is gold. Gold. It's always gold. It's the symbol of the highest. So these are the offerings of the three channels. And born from Heruka and Vajrayini, Mother Mary and Joseph, in pure union, maintaining her virginity. I've heard some masters say that it's possible to slowly have sex with your partner without breaking the hymen. You slowly, over a long period of time, so you can then eventually have sex and you never break the hymen, and you never lose your seed. So she's a virgin and married. And of course there's controversy, people don't understand that relationship. It's so mystical still. They still don't understand it. Yeah, still don't comprehend without these secrets. So they represent the tantric union, which gives birth to the Christ witnessed by the Bodhisattva. And then the Bodhisattva, Mother Mary, Joseph, the three kings, are the six-pointed star, in which the Christ is at the center. Yeah. And six-pointed stars got many meanings of the transformation of the downward energy into the upward energy. But that's what we are transmuting, the downward energy into the upward energy, going up, and then the Christmas tree will light up. And also the animals have different meanings, but you said that's like the lower selves that are all there, like the donkey. So Christ rides on the donkey. The Buddha says, the jewel's born from the mud, the lotus is born from the mud. That's their symbol. It's the same thing. And there's no denigration of the mud. But the donkey is like the ego, and it's very stubborn, right? The more you whip the donkey, the less it ain't going to comply. In that balance, a donkey is a great symbol for that. You push it and push it and push it. And Christ can go nowhere. Most people. So they're all observing. Yeah. The Christ is born. So they're not like dead. They're kind of there, but they're not. They're in the background. Lots of animals have different. We always have animals as symbols for the delusions, the ego states. And then it's time to hide from her. But this celebration, then your whole body's in awe. Yeah, your energy body, the three kings, are in awe of the birth of Christ in the center of your mandala, directionless above the start of Bethlehem. And as we progress, we want to channel into the energies of Santa Claus, the light as it comes in, and then that synchronizes with the winter. And it's the end of the darkness and the birth, the resurrection again of the light. They're always dying and being reborn, dying and being reborn, dying, and we can use that energy. That's the point. For us to be reborn inside. So we can say that light is the only begotten, or the first begotten. So from the absolute abstract emptiness, then the first begotten Son, the light, that's Christ. And then that's what we're celebrating. Christmas. Yeah, the right of the Christ consciousness. Yang Chen, you got a question?
Yeah, you might have just answered it, to be honest, because it was about when I think Jesus had said, "I am the morning star." And it's like what you've just described, but that morning star is also Venus. So it's also love, isn't it? And it's like, I wondered if it's like an opportunity every day for that rebirth maybe, but also for these opportunities of love to allow that, to be able to receive that. It's really about that. But then you started to talk about that. So yeah, that was my question really.
Yeah, I think, not 100% certain, that the movement of Venus in the sky is the five-pointed star. That is its movement in the sky. But yeah, then again, Christ is the fire and Christ is love, and it's the transmutation of the sexual energy. Like that's our jewel that we need to find and transmute. That's how the Christ is born. So everything is born from sex. And so that energy, that light that's given birth is sex. That's another way of saying it. Until we're in touch with the only thing that can give birth to our solar body, our light body, is that energy. Nothing else will activate it. Nothing else is strong enough. And then we need to have we need to be pure, we need to be virgin. Or chastity just means that we retain our sexual energies and we're not splatting them out everywhere. Because that's the force that will do it, like the tumo. So there's many other symbols of what the tumo is. And we are in a different age. And the modern parlance, they say the age of information, but in the hippiedom world, it's the age of Aquarius. So there's like a big cycle of the Piscean age ended, in which it's about secrecy and initiation and secrecy. And if you said these things publicly, you get killed. Yeah, because you take an oath not to reveal these secrets. But things changed. 1951 onwards, it shifted into the age of Aquarius, and then it's like we can have Piscean models of the spiritual path, but Aquarius is like an open information. It's more like, this seeing how things are, the light has given this information to everyone. It's like, right, come on, you've really got to take responsibility and wake up. It's for like everyone to wake up. So the guidance, the spiritual guides, take on a different flavor in which they become your friend. Another name for that in Buddhist parlance is Maitreya. So when the Dharma changes, in one reading of the prophecy of Buddha's time, of how things were, when that kind of ends, then Maitreya will come. But Maitreya means the friend. Whereas before, like the master's like a king. And then in a different age, the master's more like your friend. And it's like a relationship of friendliness that you kind of learn, but your kind of self, the information is all there, that you have to kind of do it yourself. I mean, no one can do it for you anyway. But it's a different kind of relationship. And all the information's there. But it's still very difficult to do on your own. I mean, back in the day, you get hit with a stick, right? It's a different kind of relationship. I mean, there's still obviously like hierarchies. Like you see, if you understood, what I'm saying, it's just like hierarchy. But it's one thing. It's just the dissension and expression of that intelligence. I mean, does anybody? Well, not everybody here's got children. You think you're above your kids? No. Think you're above Sebastian? You've got more value than him? No. I use caretaker. There's a hierarchy, right? But it doesn't mean you're better than them. In fact, they might be better than you, and let's hope they are. That's why, like Ramiro's, please be better than me, please. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we've got a strange relationship with hierarchy. Again, it gets distorted by Satan, in which it's like you are subservient to my will. Everyone understood. I mean, Muhammad was amazing. They don't like to say it because people got their own interpretations of meanings in this culture. But people come in the room wouldn't notice him. They don't like that because it's like a big presence. They wouldn't notice him. And say the other Sahaba come in, and it's like Muhammad's there. It's like, he's just among them. I mean, over time, for those that knew, then it's just like it was kind of, but he's very friendly. Yeah. He's the king. But if somebody's, like, he never imposed his will on people. Whatever you want. They tell people off if they try and impose it on people. They must come themselves.
I have a question, which I've had for a long time, and it's just Christ being called the Son of Man. That expression, I've always, what does that mean? It seems to relate to, yeah, it's a big.
We've only got 3 minutes left.
Big
It's like the Son of Man. That's
it's like that inversion somehow, like the way the child is, like, it's as if that energy gives us the opportunity to care for it. So it's, but I had never really managed to get
the humanness of Christ.
Yeah, and that we can take care of that energy as if it's our child, like the Son of Man. But it's so many layered. I never got to the end of thinking about it.
Take care of that energy, the Christ within you. Yeah, I mean, that's the Christmas thing we were talking about. You have to, like, protect it. You have to hold it, honor it, like, cherish it, look after it, because we can just be tempted. Right? And that's the prayer. Lead me not into temptation. It's like, don't let me be pulled by Satan, by that intelligence that's guiding me into my lower animal self. You know? And then many people don't understand that prayer. It's like, don't lead me into temptation. Why would God lead you into temptation? He's leading everybody into temptation. That's the lower self without consciousness. And it's perfect, right? And it's like we said, I don't want to be an unconscious servant. Please don't let me be an unconscious servant, just watching football and doing what I need to be doing. Like, you know, you're guiding me where I need to go. Please let me join you and be the co-creator. Yeah. And then we're given, let's say we've got 3% consciousness and 97% unconscious. We've just got a little bit, so we're kind of aware. This is our dilemma. And we're given, within that, it's a choice. And then you choose it. And then the more you kind of choose it, the more it expands. But you have to look after it. You're the custodian of your own, of the spark of God in you as you are aware of it. And so, again, one of the meanings of Christmas, this is that day where we celebrate that light within ourselves as a conscious servant of that intelligence. Yeah. And the best way tune in is like you do the 5 prayers a day, so you're consciously moving, like Muhammad's like guiding us to where the light moves. This energy of intelligence, this divine force that's guiding us back to him, is moving at the different times of day. And then you stand there and you receive the light as it standing. That's different. And then you're like going, right, okay, you are the Lord of the worlds. So you are, for the first time, consciously recognizing this central intelligence, like our own intelligence within the body, within the universe. And it's the Lord of all the galaxies and the worlds and all those intelligences and all those consciousnesses behind each of the suns that are guiding things. You're the Lord of that. It's like, I mean, every time you pray, you blow your mind. It's just like, and it's compassion and love. It's mercy and compassion. And that is, you're the master on the day of judgment. So day can mean light, the light of religion, the light of all things. That's our master. And then it's like, I worship that. And then it's like, help me. That the worship goes to the kind of outer, and then we cross over to help me, which is the inner light within you, guiding you toward the straight path, which is total harmony to that light, not swaying into the animal self, just like those masters, like Muhammad, Jesus, you surrounded those unbelievable beings who are just exude happiness. Well, I want to be like that, and don't let me be like the wandering robots. But the unconscious, that's the temptation. Yep. Then it's like, glory to Almighty, glory to the Almighty, glory to the Almighty. And there's a different way of connecting to that energy. You come back, then you say the words that were transmitted to Muhammad through the servant of light, Gabriel, which is like just an expression of that light, because you can't go to the central sun of the universe. It's beyond us. We're just part of it, but you cannot just hang out there. So that light of Gabriel, that angel, another intelligence on the cosmic level that's kind of guiding the planet, comes into Muhammad, into language, into symbols, which is the part of our mental state that intelligence is created, that we can comprehend it. It's unbelievable. And this is the manifest symbols of directly from someone who's got no animal self, tuned in, connected, and revealing it. You say those words, and then you bow down completely, and then you understand that you go down to the lowest and say, God, you're the highest. So this connection of the lowest, the meek, will inherit the truth, the earth, and then you come back up, and then you're like, woo, woo, woo. You're like pulsing, like woo, woo, and connecting to these different times that light is manifesting through this globe, which is moving in accordance with that intelligence to connect with its unbelievable. People praise for stupid people. You understand that people make comments, the ignorance of how they know nothing. Right? And Sufis are the most intelligent people in the world. They say, like, just for me, again, like, make Buddhists look like children. They're just like, this is what they're dealing with. And they say, like, Muhammad, they're just like, when you get to know them, the awe. Like, you just can't take the awe of the responsibility of the world into his consciousness and movement, and how he expressed himself in every situation, knowing that and never deviating from it. So, wow. They say, like, God offered this intelligence to mountains, and like, no, it's too much, and gave it to humans. But within humans, like Muhammad's like, okay, I'll guide them all. Whoa! And then this expression. So then he went to this, close to this central intelligence, and this way of connecting, like antenna, we call prayer, is how to connect. So this is how you do it. And to help that ego that just wants to do its own thing, it's going, right, make them do it 5 times a day. Make them love this. Love. Connect to this Rahman, this Rahim, 5 times a day. See if they can do that. No. This is prayers. That's wild. So it's different. Let people understand on different levels what it means. And this is the majesty of the transmission of the antenna. Like the internet's freely available for everybody. And what do some people do? They generate cats that can fart through the sky and watch, like thing. That's what people tune into that antenna. Or you could like transmit divine scripture through the slots. It depends. So some people see the prayer and go, "Oh, I believe in a big man in the sky." It's incredible, right? The whole thing is don't anthropomorphize the Lord in Islam. The idea that you can know. And then we praise Muhammad. But then we recreate, so there's a morphic resonance of when this being, Muhammad, was as close as possible to that central sun. And it's symbolized by these, I bear witness. So his consciousness recognizes it's one. And then this central intelligence says, I totally bless you. And then this Muhammad says, not just me, bless every righteous being. Yeah. And then it's like, actually the first part is all actions, all prayers, all activity is for this alone. For the will of this central intelligence. Then it's like, I bless you. And he said, don't just bless me, we bless everyone. And it's, I bear witness, there's one. And then this central intelligence says, I bear witness that Muhammad is my servant, my messenger of that light for others who are unconsciously just moving within it. Then we praise Muhammad, please, bless, put more blessings on this consciousness, Muhammad. And then it's like, may every being in the universe this side be happy and peace. May every being on this side. And we've recharged, right? That's the idea. This is where we've gone in. We've connected with God through these symbols and through this messenger. I mean, if you don't understand that he's in union with Christ, I mean, people don't know any of it. They're just on this level of form. So yeah, that was a bit of a rave over past the time. I hope we got some sense of what Christmas is and what we're celebrating. It's just the same as Sog. It's the day you celebrate the Christ light in others and share your presence. Your presence, not material objects. Yeah, don't spoil your kids. Don't drown them in the corporate structures and things that may. You know, if you've got kids and they're young, give them twigs, bits of wood. They'll probably find it more enjoyable than plastic or something like that. You know what I mean? Of course, you buy things and it's nice that you can open things, but give them love. That's the point. Give them community. Give them, that's family. No arguments. No anger. That's Sog. You're not allowed to get angry in a Sog offering. You break your vow if you get angry. Like for Zikr, it's the time you get angry. Just for Zikr you can do it. But just for Christmas you don't get angry. It's a day of peace. All work stops. All external materialism stops. It's a holy day in which we share the light. Christmas is coming. And then we can listen to the songs and then it means something completely different for us. And then you can, we're lucky, if you tune into this, then nothing but compassion will arise when you hear about other people's Christmases. May God bless you. You just bought stuff from a corporation. Well done. What an achievement. And then it's like vying for who can give most things to their kids, right? Who can be a corporation slave the most? So our job is to move from being a corporate slave to the slave of God. Take your pick. Well, let's see if you can do one prayer a day. But it takes a while to kind of tune into the juice, but you contemplate these things, and it's just stand there. Just stand there. I mean, okay, that's 10 minutes past 1. So we can dedicate. And when we dedicate, we tune into that central intelligence called God, and realize that we are in and of ourselves non-existent. Everything we're conceiving of is not the thing itself. It's just expressions of light. So we put our intention, our will, our own intelligence, which mirrors that central intelligence amazingly, into that karma, that energy manifesting in people, in their own mandala, as food, shelter, care, protection, love, ease, knowledge, wisdom, happiness, joy. And not only that they awaken themselves completely to their own Christ consciousness, and on Christmas give birth to the Christ within. And the Christmas must be for each individual to awaken their own Christ consciousness and attain wisdom, love, and be a servant of that light and a co-creator of love in the world. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Amen. Thank you so much for your kind attention. No, there's no Takini. Happy Christmas, Amy. Hope you have a beautiful time. And thank you so much. Bye.